Okay, I want to welcome everybody to this week's show of Crude Justice Empowered by Witness to Innocence. My name is Herman Lindsey. I'm Florida's 23rd Death Row Exoneree. I'm also the Secretary of Board of Witness to Innocence. Today, we're going to have a nice show where we're going to actually, for those that don't know who and what Witness to Innocence is and what it's about, I brought, actually I have three colleagues. The first one is the co-host. Her name is Jenny Sheets, and she is the Director of Communication and Development. How you doing today, Jenny?
Hey, Herman. Hello, everybody. I'm so glad to be here with y'all.
Hey. The second person is the chairman of the board, which is Kwame. I don't really say his last name too good, Ajamu, but I'm sure he'll tell you his name. And this third person today is Derrick Jamison, one of the Death Row Exonerees. That's been a great part of witnessing this over the years and made me feel so comfortable and like I have an actual family here witnessing this, so we play a big part of that. So first we're going to start with Kwame. Would you mind introducing yourself?
Certainly. Kwame Ajamu is how you say that, brother. I am chairman of the board of directors of Witness to Innocence, a great organization I happen to find near and dear to my heart.
And Derrick, tell them a little bit about yourself, who you are.
You hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay. Hi, my name is Derrick Wayne Jamison. I'm the 119th Death Row Exoneree in the United States. I'm a member of Witness to Innocence. I'm the peer specialist. And I enjoy my work I do with Witness to Innocence, man. You know, I love how the exonerees are doing things, especially you, Herman. I'm proud of you, Herman Lindsey, what you're doing with your podcast. Oh my man, I love the great work that our organization is achieving around the country, you know. Thank you.
Now this organization, for most people don't know, is built around Death Row Exonerees around the United States. We also have connections with Death Row Exonerees around the world. We are an organization that as executive director is actually a Death Row Exoneree. I am the secretary of the board. I am a Death Row Exoneree. Kwame is the chairman of the board, which is a Death Row Exoneree. So we have a lot of experience in Death Row Exonerees leading leadership in this organization and playing a big role. So we take that real serious. But Kwame, this is a question for you. Can you give the viewers a description of Witness to Innocence and what they are about?
Certainly. First and foremost, this organization is about the abolition of the death penalty, capital punishment. That is our main objective, is to get rid of capital punishment. In doing so, that we have a mission in place to empower our members and our family members and the families of our members to be able to litigate in a conducive way, even to the community as well as to various members of Congress and all of the leaderships in the acts of Congress, that we could perpetuate this understanding of Witness to Innocence, which is, as I said, death penalty abolition.
And how long have you actually been part of Witness to Innocence?
Wow, let me see. Since 2014.
And how are you enjoying your membership?
So I was exonerated, I'm sorry. I was exonerated officially December 9th of 2014. And I had, prior to that, got membership calling from someone who was actually not even in Witness to Innocence. Abe Bonowitz actually suggested that I should be waiting to hear from Witness to Innocence. And I'll be doggone the very next day, Magdalena Rose Avia, who then was the director of the organization, gave me a call. And from that point on, I have been diligently involved with the organization. I was a foot soldier all the way up until 2016, and I couldn't tell you the progress which took place in which I became the chairman, but I do know that one day I was just a brother in the ranks, and the next day I was saying, well, I'll try it, you know. So here we are.
Derrick, this is a question for you. How long have you been a part of Witness to Innocence, and what your experience been like?
Well, it's been an amazing experience for me because since I've been with Witness to Innocence since like 2006, a year after I got off of death row. I've been with Witness to Innocence, and I was with them from the start because I think they had like one gather before I came to Witness to Innocence, and I messed with amazing people, and I messed with amazing exonerees from all over the world, you know, that joined Witness to Innocence. And we done lost a lot of my brothers and sisters since I joined Witness to Innocence. And, you know, and I'm so proud of the work they did, but they're no longer with us, you know. But I was there from the beginning, Herman, you know. I've been through all the different gatherings we done had over the years, and we done lost a lot of people, man. Before we had started this interview, man, you were talking about my girlfriend, Tanya. She was a member of Witness to Innocence too. And we lost her like 4 years ago. She passed away like 4 years ago. And she was one of my biggest supporters too, you know, and she was a member of Witness to Innocence. But like I say, a lot of them are no longer here, but they did great work while they was here with the organization. And I'm so proud of Witness to Innocence. Thank you.
You know, I came into, I was exonerated in 2006, and it's like immediately after I received a welcome package, a welcome letter, and asked me would I be a part of Witness to Innocence. At the beginning, when I first got home, I really didn't want to be bothered really or anything, and I didn't know anything about speaking or telling my story, or that even people want to hear my stories. So I was like back, but then the first letter I really got was to come to a gathering. And when I came to the gathering and I seen that it was so many death row exonerees from all around the world, I felt comfortable. I felt like, okay, I can deal with this, you know, because it made me feel like, okay, this is not just happening to me, you know, because I didn't really know about the death penalty and things like that. And when this happened to me, you know, I never thought there was so many more people that actually was going through what I went through. So when I came to the gathering and we had fun, you know, we had our Witness to Innocence fun, you know, out the record.
Yeah.
It's fun. You know, Derrick, Derrick, in fact, you was one of the first ones to greet me with Suji, and you know, and things, and we was, you know, it was amazing. It was amazing, and to know that this organization was existed and made me feel like I'm a part of something. So now it gave me the strength to go out and tell my story. It gave me the strength to, you know, hold my head up, you know. And the thing about it is that being here so long, and you know, it's being here, it's over 10 years now. So being here so long, and you know, all the progress and all the changes and all the things that we have now, which we're going to talk about a little bit later, about all the great programs that we have now, and watching this organization grow and being a part of it is so amazing. Um, and it's something I didn't add, which I should have added when I introduced. One of the common things about you two today is that both of y'all was exonerated from Ohio, correct?
Right.
So
Yes.
I got to. Is there any other Florida exoneree? Because I can't get double teamed with these two right now. I can't win. So, but
Yeah.
the thing about it is that it represents that, you know, to be a part of this organization and to actually have people around the world. I mean, it's so many people around the world that we're connected to that we can call on and we can feel at home. We have conversations and, you know, and empowerment to actually be a part of this organization and to sit in the front seats of this organization and being able to learn and to experience being in executive position. You know, it's been real wonderful because, you know, it kind of filled my dreams up that, you know, when I was younger, you know, I mean, when I was younger and running the streets and things, I didn't feel I could be, you know, in such an important position. And to be in those positions now, it's like a strength. It puts some strength inside, and that is one of the things that Witness Innocence has done for me. They over the years, make me feel like I'm not alone, and making me feel like, you know, I have family. It has given me strength inside to battle my issues, my mental issues and things like that that's been caused by my wrongful conviction. So my question to Derrick, I ain't picking on you, I'm just, that's how I do when I just pick a question.
Yeah.
Derrick, this question is for you. Now, we've known each other a long time, and we done had our battles and things like that. But I know you've been very closely with Mr. Innocent. How has this organization uh, maybe changed you to be able to deal with what happened to you, the wrongful conviction?
Well, it helped me a lot because, like you say, it gave us a voice, and we putting a face to that voice. You know, I'm able to speak all over the world now. You know, I did a commercial. Me and 3 other Death Row exonerees, we did a commercial for Coca-Cola over in Spain. I'm able to do things like that. But basically, I'm able to reach out to these young law students. I love talking to these law students. You know. Telling my story and telling them what goes on in an unjust system, you know, that I watched so many of my friends suffer, you know, I'm from Ohio. I watched 56 of my friends get executed. Them guys, you know, most of them were kids when I met them. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm from the state of Ohio, where, you know, we since 1999 we didn't have 56 executions, and I watched, and all of them were my friends. Them were guys I grew up with. You know, I did 20 years on Ohio death row. You know, and the same day I was sent to die, October the 25th, 1985. I walked off of death row the same day, and October the 25th, 2005, and that's Kwame's birthday. And Kwame from Ohio, that's his birthday. His birthday became the worst day of my life, and also the best day of my life. You know, but I like what Witness the Innocence has been able to do with getting the exonerees voices heard all over the world. It's making a big impact on what's happening with this abolition movement. We need it right now. You know, people need to hear our voices, and we put a face to it. So I'm grateful for that. I'm always grateful for that. And You know, I'm always with Witness to Innocence. That's what I do. You know, I love them guys and I love the staff members and the great work they do. You know, like you a staff member, I love the great work you've been doing since you've been home. You know, I watched you evolve, brother. You know, I watched Kwame evolve. I watched what it done. You know, I watch how evolve over the years, how stronger. Y'all get stronger and stronger. You know, I love it, man. And I'm always got y'all back and I'm always supporting y'all. And that's what we do, the organization. We there to support one another. And that's what we do. And I love it. And we're going to continue to do this amazing work. Thank you.
Kwame, this birthday coming up soon.
Yes. 9/2, my new one.
25th.
Your new birthday?
Yeah.
Your 25th.
The 25th.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the day I come home, Herman. That's the day I walked up out of it. I walked out of here, October the 25th. I walked out of here.
So you got exonerated on his birthday. What a coincidence.
Yeah.
So that means, I think, me personally, I mean, he's the chairman of the board. I think he should send you a cake on your new birthday instead of you sending him the birthday.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So Kwame, Kwame, listen, I've known you and we've always talked. We met at the gathering. And since then, we've been side buddies, you know, and things like that. So, through your experience with Witness to Innocence, how did Witness to Innocence? I mean, when we're exonerated from death row, we come out, yeah, we're happy that we're home, but we have so many issues and, you know, bitterness, anger, you know, and things like that. How or did Witness to Innocence help you dealing with your coming home and feeling comfortable in the community, and you know, being able to kind of like block or change those anger feelings into feeling something more?
First off, am I okay? First off, that hey man, everybody never asked me that, so that kudos. That's an excellent question.
No, I understand. I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
No, I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you asking that question, because that question actually speaks to the association both of the human part of the person and the organization. You know, so yeah, I have to go back to what you said about, what Derrick has said about being able to speak and this and that. Up until I actually spoke with Abe Bonovich, I had no idea that Witness to Innocence did the things that they were associated with doing, right, on such a great scale. Now, before I say another word that way, I want to go back. In 2007, a member of Witness to Innocence, very good friend of mine, was on death row with me by the name of Tim Howard, came to my house. I had no idea that he had been exonerated as such and was a part of the organization. He just came to my house because he got off death row, right? And we chopped it up, man, and had fun all the way to his death. He subsequently died, right? So fast forward 7 years, and bam, here comes Witness to Innocence. And the first thing that I see on the picture of the 9 Ohioans who have been exonerated is my dear friend, Tim Howard. Isn't that something? So there's a connection. You see what I'm saying? There's a human connection there, that innate connection already. When I was on death row as a child, a young man child, I was consumed with hatred and vengeance, you know, and but I allowed myself through education, first through just the reading of books, that secondhand knowledge that comes firsthand to you when you in isolation of books, because you can go all over the world. And then later through the educational system throughout the 1, 2, 3 penal institutions that I would be in prior to, I actually got paroled. I didn't get exonerated and then to freedom. I actually got paroled and fought the rest of my case for 11 years prior to the exoneration coming. So, there was a whole lot of struggling and eating Roman noodles even in the real world, up until this exoneration in 2014. So that ambitious and craving to stuff out the wrong that I had suffered had always been, in me. And you can see that through me fighting for my case as diligently as I did. When I could have, I made a parole, I could have went about my business, But the point was I was innocent. And then there were 2 people still innocent in prison, so that had to be made manifest, That was something I did alone by myself. But once I found out about this great organization, man, that teams up. And I mean, man, I done been in Colorado, California, New York, everywhere, San Francisco, you name it, I done been there, because you guys have been there too. Feet on the ground, making a physical attribution towards getting rid of this ill capital punishment. You see, so it was always that. And then I got invited to come out to, like you, to the gathering, which was fundamentally done for, I thought it was just for me personally, because guess what? It happened right here in the city of Cleveland. It happened right here in the city of Cleveland, Ohio, and I was able to fall in love with the entire organization right here in my home state, feet on the ground, those brothers, I'll never forget it. What we want, justice, when we want it now. You did, feet on the ground, demonstrating in my hometown, in my city, and welcoming me into their organization. So this was very powerful at that time. We cut a video about it and everything, Man, this is something that I've been wanting to happen ever since May of 1975, when those boogeymans came and got me out of the closet. You did? Because I was just a child, man. I was scared of the dark, They came and did that to me, And for the next 43 years, and probably until I get in the grave, will I have the pain and suffer the mental anguish, the retardation of both principle and inner anguish, until I get in the grave that'll happen. I know that. All for naught. So yes, I am a soldier. I am sold on Witness to Innocence. This organization is the powerfulest organization of its kind, not the only one, but one of the most powerful of its kind. And this is what I came into this organization with the ideology of, that it should be the foremost, as we are, the only living example of why you should not sentence someone to die. Good enough, little brother?
Amen.
It's on point. It's on point.
On point, bro.
But now let's get into it, because
Can I jump in with a question too, Herman?
Excuse me?
Can I jump in with a question?
Yes.
Just real quick, because you guys have mentioned the gathering, but I'm not sure our viewers know what the gathering is. And it's such a fundamental part of what we do as an organization, and how you create that community and camaraderie and mutual support among exonerees. So can someone tell people what is the gathering?
Mr.
Don't look at me because I'm the co-host. And Jenny, you're lucky, because I was just going to call upon you. I was just going to call on you, so you can look for it next. The gathering, to me, is a place where what it is, once a year. He's trying to do twice a year, but at least once a year, all the death row exonerees around the United States and a part of Witness to Innocence gather at a retreat. We actually have the counseling sessions and stuff like that with each other. We talk about things that's going on. We actually, it's like a educational but therapy time. That's a time we get to hang out and get to know each other, and you know, things like that. So to me, the gathering is a place where it's the welcome home party. It's the welcome to be exonerated party to me, and it's actually give us a time to get away from all of that we're going through at home, and we can leave it behind for the weekend and come and we can just hang out. And that also brings to me where Derrick and Tanya, where where I met Tanya, is that's the good thing about Witness to Innocence. It's not just devil exonerees, but it's also family members. Family members that give the exoneree support. And like, for instance, Derrick spoke about Tanya, who was a great woman back then. It gives them an opportunity to bond with us and see, take one of the classes that's there, or the session, as I would say, that's there, to learn how to try to help cope with us exonerees. It's a class that, kind of put things in perspective of why this exoneree is reacting this way, reacting that way. And if it's a problem, they can also notify Witness to Innocence, so that Witness to Innocence can give them the proper mental or medical help that they need. So to me, the gathering is not only an educational retreat, but it's also a retreat where it's smoothing, relaxing, and therapeutic. You want to add to that, Kwame? Derrick?
Somewhat, yeah. It's a great experience, a time for our organization, as he said, for relaxation. And but one of the really good things about it is that we get to go different places. And the very first time I went to Puerto Rico in my life was because of Witness to Innocence in our gathering. Okay. The very first time I went to Arizona in my life was because of this organization in our gathering. So, we get to go places, in the world that we pick for that one time in a year where we all can come together and be brothers and sisters, be family, all with the same understanding. You have to remember that not only do we, fight to end capital punishment, but we also fight to continuously empower ourselves to be leaders in our own community. This is an organization of empowerment as well. And so we want to go back home into the communities feeling good, where we can have an aspiration to, meet and greet and deal and say, hey, come and listen, if not, find a link. If you're not familiar with Kwame Ajamu in the city of Cleveland, look for his car, because my tag say WTI.org, okay? And a lot of people wonder what that is. Go type it up. It's witnesstoinnocence.org. This is my organization, not for say mine, but yes, mine, because each and every one of its memberships is a part, blood, sweat, and tears of this organization. It is ours from the bottom to the top. We love you for listening to us, and we're going to come into your community real soon.
Now, see, that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's what makes me feel so good. And you put the words right on. So, Derrick.
That was perfect. That was perfect. Hey, man. Hey, and then over the years, like I said, I've been with Witness to Innocence since 2006, right? When I come home. Yeah, I come home, right? Hey, man, we done lost so many exonerees, man. But we used to have so much fun. We used to do 2 journeys a year. We used to do, 2 gatherings a year. We used to have 2 gatherings a year, man. We came up with the fun to have 2 gatherings a year. And we used to be so much fun, man. All our exoneree friends was alive, man. We got a chance to hang out with them, enjoy them, go to concerts, and have picnics, and hang out on the beach and on the lake. Man, it was a beautiful thing, man, and it empowered us. We went home feeling good about ourselves with our heart our hearts flooded with love because we love one another, man, and we showed it. Because we showed so much love to one another, man, over the years. Because I miss them guys, man. Like you said, Tanya, man, Tanya was my heart, you know. I miss them days, man. And them some amazing memories. Thank you so much, Kwame, for what you do. And Herman, man, I remember me and Herman, man, we used to hang out, man, when he first joined the organization, man. Me and Herman were tight, bruh. We used to, Herman would get a rental, he'd come in the rental, man. We had so much fun, man. Oh my God, bruh. That brings back good memories.
Derrick, I think you're telling over me a little bit.
Yeah, we just had so much fun.
They're not gonna rip me no rental for this gathering.
Yeah. Oh no, I ain't really like that, bro. I ain't really like that though. But we used to have so much fun, man. It was a blessing, man. It was a blessing. And like I say, everybody was alive then, man, you know? So I'm so grateful, man, and I'm always thankful that we are able to empower one another and uplift one another and be strong for one another, you know? Thank y'all, man. I appreciate the work that the staff does on our organization and y'all the staff, you know, and I appreciate y'all for what y'all do and what y'all stand for, you know. Thank y'all, man. I love y'all to the moon and back, brothers and sisters. Thank you.
Yeah, we have a staff that can go run any organization in the world.
There you go.
You know, that's exactly what I was finna touch on. That is exactly what I was finna touch on. Our staff, you know, is so amazing. You know, and they work real hard. You know, I done got called 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm not gonna say no name, Jenny, but because 6 o'clock in the morning preparing me, and I done got in the hotel 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, and another one had to make sure the hotel is right. Yeah. You know, they work so hard to actually make sure that when we're doing the event that it is very comfortable for us and we don't run into no problems. So I want to give a round of applause to our staff member that's there. And speaking of staff, Jenny, I was wondering, you know, we're talking about the fun things, you know, and how it makes us feel and how important it is, how this organization made a big difference in our life. But you know, some of the people don't understand the depths of work that is actually put out
behind the shadows,
right? But actually put out through WTI. They don't actually know a lot of things that we're being involved with. So you know, I was wondering, could you kind of give the people a view of some of the like campaigns we worked on, or the letters like we did for Julius Jones, or you know, tell them about the abolition that we're actually doing as an organization. I know you'll know from firsthand.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Well, so the whole concept of what witness innocence is, like you all have said, right, is that through the empowerment of death row exonerees to be leaders in the abolition movement, we're going to powerfully end the death penalty, right? And so there's all kinds of, you know, statistics and research that you can tell people about why the death penalty isn't working, why it's biased, or just why it's morally wrong. But those statistics might go in one ear and out the other, but an exoneree story nobody's ever going to forget. And so the way to end the death penalty at a very like base level is that you have to change public opinion away from the death penalty. If public opinion moves away from the death penalty, then people won't elect DAs that want to use the death penalty. Then the Supreme Court, if we know when we get a case there, can really bring the argument that it's unusual. The unusual part of the cruel and unusual element, unusual is that it's not being used anywhere and that public opinion has turned away from it. I mean, and we've talked on past shows about juries, you know, and so the more jurors understand the reality of the death penalty and remember some of these folks' stories, then the less so they're going to, you know, be willing to go for death in a conviction. And so public opinion plays a really big role, and there's no better way to sway public opinion than with a personal story and a firsthand testimony that you can't ever forget. And so the exonerees of witness to innocence go around and they tell their stories anywhere and everywhere. And so that could be on the floor of legislatures, that could be to prosecutors and DAs, that could be to law students who later go on to be governor or whoever, you know. So it's a very widespread way that we do that work, anybody and everybody. And when I'm not talking, I'll go back to the Facebook and post the link for how you can host a speaker. But the campaigns that we've worked on, when we work on abolition state by state, we partner with the local abolition organization. So every state that has a death penalty, or most of them, have some people on the ground who in that state who are trying to abolish the death penalty through legislation. And so we support their efforts by having exonerees come in, testify before the legislature, do op-eds, do media interviews, whatever it takes during that campaign push when they're trying to get the legislators to vote to abolish the death penalty. And okay, here's a fact that I absolutely love about Witness to Innocence. In the last 15 years, or well, it's 16 or 17 years that we've been around, the entire time Witness to Innocence has been around, death row exonerees of Witness to Innocence have been pivotal in every single state that has abolished the death penalty. So most recently, Colorado and New Hampshire, we were there. Washington State, we were there. We were there in force. We were there multiple times over multiple years, testifying, doing op-eds, doing speaking tours around to everyone. And so we see direct evidence that the involvement, participation, and advocacy of death row exonerees is having an impact. Then you were mentioning Julius Jones's case. What we've been doing just more recently in the last couple of years is to get more involved in the cases where people are on death row right now, but have very strong innocence claims. The flaws in their cases really mirror and match the same stories of what happened to so many of our members. And so we see that as a place to where we can both still be exposing the need for abolition by raising up their story, but at the same time, trying to save somebody's life whose life is on the line because the death penalty hasn't been abolished. So those are the major campaigns we've been involved in. We also have over the years off and on fought for the issue of compensation. A lot of people don't know it, but when people are exonerated from death row, that doesn't mean they get anything at all in terms of, well, you lost 20 years of your life here, let's make that up to you. Oh, you didn't have a chance to go to college or build a career over those 20 years. Let's make that up to you with some, financial, compensation to help you rebuild your life. That doesn't happen. And so we've been involved in advocating for laws of the federal and local level for that over the years as well. So, and let me just say real quick, like the beauty of what I think Witness to Innocence is as well is, in order to be able to go out and be those leaders, right, and do everything that you guys do, testifying on the floor of legislature and abolishing the death penalty state by state, you need the support of what Witness to Innocence is at that foundation to book that travel and make sure every detail is set for you, to have social work services so that your basic needs at home are taken care of, so you're not worrying about your electric being cut off and therefore you don't have the available space and time in your life to go out and advocate to abolish the death penalty, and that peer support among each other. So because it can, I can imagine it can get pretty discouraging to be seeing the executions that are still happening and hearing the arguments of those states that want to keep killing people in this country through execution, and to be able to keep telling your story and facing that discouragement, I think takes the peer support community that you all have built. So that would be my answer to that, Herman, unless you have a follow-up question.
No, I do have one other question, and I'm not trying to put you on the spot with this, but I think people should know. Like for instance, first of all, I'm gonna say that I am executive. I'm on the executive committee for Represent Justice and the movement Just Mercy. I'm also an ambassador in Surrogate, and we have a little joke over there, Eric, my Jenny, my Jenny, because it's like when I'm on the go and I'm trying to take care of things, I can hit Jenny at any time. She is a very, very hard worker, very, very hard worker. And I'm not just talking about her because she's on the show. I'm serious. We have a conversation and keep going and going, and I think she contributed to a lot of my great success right now. So I do want to thank you, Jenny, for your support you have given me and many others. But I want to ask a question for those people that don't know about it, Witness to Innocent. I just wanted to know, when you first came working for Witness to Innocent, you know, this is sort of like a new ball game for you. How did you feel fitting in Witness to Innocent? Was it a peaceful, you know, excitement? You know what it is, because right now it's like you like a ball of energy for Witness to Innocent, and I just want to know what it is that when you first came that just triggered this big ball.
Well, that's a deep question, Herman. All right, so you know, I had a loved one who was executed in North Carolina, who was guilty of his crime and was executed. And so that made the death penalty, you know, dear to my heart and something that I wanted to fight on. But before I came to Witness to Innocence, I also was working, you know, mostly with people who were guilty of their crimes and, you know, reintegration and support after exoneration. And I think the thing that I had to get used to here was like the specific trauma of being innocent, because I was less familiar with innocence than I was with what it was to do a bunch of years, or what it was to, you know, be, especially with a family and, you know, walk in with a friend who was facing execution. I got to see a lot of those horrors, but I didn't understand the horror of being innocent, not being believed, right? Being told that you were wrong about the fact that you were innocent after so many years. And you know, having experience, you know, having nothing to do with the crime and being arrested out the blue, and then thinking, oh, well, there's no way they'll convict me because I didn't have anything to do with it. And then boom, here you are, convicted and sentenced to death. All of that was very, very new for me. But if we're going to get real personal with it, the thing I really didn't expect was to have my own memories and, you know, heartache of my friend being executed come back to me, because it had been a while. He was executed in 2002, and I'll be working at Witness to Innocence. It'll be 4 years now in February. So, you know, it had been a long time since that happened. And when I came to Witness to Innocence and started reading all of your stories, right, and hearing your stories and reading your stories and all of that, I started having nightmares and dreams of being back in Central Prison in Asheville, North Carolina, in the visitor room during the execution. Like, all of that really flooded back for me in a very real way. And it went away after a while. But one of the things that people probably have no way to know is like what a strong mutual support team there is among the staff members at Witness to Innocence. So, you know, we really support and take care of each other as much as we support all of y'all. And so my coworkers really supported me through that time period. And whenever we bring on new staff members, we make sure to talk about that, to say, listen, you're going to be reading all these stories and hearing all these stories and listening to all this horrible stuff that's happened. And that's going to have an impact on you. So take care of yourself, take a break when you need it, reach out to us when you need it, you know, give yourself space for all of that. So that was definitely my reality. I did not expect all those memories to come flooding back in the way that they did. So,
and you know, that's one of the most major things of being a part of this organization. You're gonna be touched. If you're not being touched, then it's something is wrong with you. Something is definitely wrong with you. And I mean, I've been exonerated myself, but yet sometimes I hear some of the stories that's being talked about, and I go into a kind of slump, because I'm like, this is so painful to hear this story, because it's not right what this person went through. And so it's a constant mental battle, and most people don't know, you know, for us exonerees, especially us that's in the front line like this, and we have to be an example. We go through a lot of trauma a lot of emotions, because every time we tell our stories, we have to relive that moment. And not only do we relive that moment, we have to, when we're not telling our stories, when we have to listen to other stories, we are also feeling that brotherly love, that brotherhood in each other. So this is not an easy job or easy subject to deal with, period. You know, but something, I'm gonna pass the mic right here to Kwame, because I think Kwame can elaborate on this a little bit better about how important it is that we have to put what we're going through the side of being exonerated to be a strong leadership. So, Kwame, can you elaborate on your feelings about how you have to be strong for other exonerees and to fight for other exonerees, to you have to deal with some of the battles with other exonerees. But you get the picture. So
yeah, I got you.
All right.
Actually, in this particular part of the conversation that we're having, guys, being candid also is asking for revealing informations as well. So let's get to it. I just like every one of my brothers and sisters who have been subjugated by these mental health atrocities of having been wrongfully incarcerated and isolated. Isolation is what brings on the worst of the longevities of these mental health issues. They take you and they put you in a room away from other human beings, and slowly but surely your mental health starts to deteriorate. So with that understanding, I'll move forward just a little bit and say that over a matter of time, does it get worse or worsens? And then ultimately, depending on the human being, the person, him or herself, is how drastic these particular situations will be, right? So dealing with myself personally, I am a sufferer too of PTSD, as well as, like I said, I know for a fact anyone who has been pitted against as such, and for so long. It took me 28 years of my life to gain physical freedom from the enslavement of which I was in, and another 11 years thereafter to be alleviated of the charges and the stigma that was in the world against me. So the pain and the suffering goes deep into my bloodstream, some 44 years, which actually is longer than the time in which I had been alive once the beating started, okay? I was just 17 years old, okay? So I'm 63 years old on the 25th of this month. So you do the figuring. I have been alive and suffering from the disproportions of fair treatment by a government who I believed in and trusted, to the point to where mental health issues are now a problem for me, as well as all the people who have suffered the things I've suffered. What I do sometimes, and a lot of times, and this is the part where I say it becomes, being candid is a lot to ask for revelation as well. You might get a phone call from me just out of the blue, just out of the fucking blue, and I'm sure you have. See Herman laughing over there? I'm sure you have. Well, that's when the chairman is going through one of his episodes as well. But the ability to utilize the understanding that I have of this mental health issue gives me also the presence of mind to reach out to one of my brothers or one of my sisters who too suffers the same calamities in life, and we talk, and we have a conversation, and sometimes they might tell me that, they're on the edge, they're feeling pretty bad, and then we work out their situation, and guess what? Mine doesn't exist anymore either. You see, each one teach one is a process, and an understanding of which I have been developmentally educating this organization with since the very first day that I have come into your acquaintances. You always have to be able to have the presence of mind to realize that if something doesn't work for me, it might work for my brother or my sister. And together we can make it work as one. Each one teach one is a good ideology and principle and a practice for everybody, not just in this organization, but the world over, to utilize at a time either in crisis or in happiness and peace, you see? So now you know the secret of the chairman too, when he have a mental health issue. If you get a phone call,
I'm glad they can't see me laughing.
But the seriousness of it is that you have to have an ability to find an outlet and utilize that outlet. It just so happens that, I have so many different ways in which that I can turn. And I also have, professional counseling that I see once a week as well. And I speak to that issue, throughout the organization and, just tell you how it goes. And, it's up to you if you want to reach back and make those type of inroads into your life. But we have to always have support of good mental health, always. And you always have to be conscious that, sometimes you could be slipping, be it anger, doesn't always have to fall into depression. Doesn't always have to fall into a minuscule a way of being and thinking, you can get ticked off as well, and that is a form, of your suffering, of your crisis. So, you always have to just have a presence of mind and just find an outlet, man, That's what the chairman do.
And that's one of the great things that Witness Innocence have. It has a peer line network. Kara is over there, and she works greatly hard trying to find new ways to assist the death row exonerees, and believe me, she does a great job helping out and getting things done. Trust me, she's helped me out a whole lot, and many others. She finds the medical programs, the health programs, and all disability programs, housing assistance, food assistance. She's dedicated to that particular field to help us with this trauma and the issues that we're going through in life. She does an amazing job, and I round of applause to her. And I also want to say a round of applause to Allison, and I knew Chloe.
Is Allison still here? She's still there?
She's not going to show her face. She's in the background. She's not here. But yeah, she's here. So she just texted the chat. Yep, correct. So, like I said, we have a great staff. It's
no
all
doubt.
like family. It make what we do very comfortable. Very comfortable.
Yeah.
And we can't forget about Trisha.
Jenny's got a hand raised. You remember that thing about the hand raised?
Yeah.
Well, I had a question I was hoping we would be able to ask, because I think one of the things most unique about Witness to Innocence, and is actually why I wanted to work here, is that it is run by death row exonerees, right? So Kwame is the board chair. Kirk Bloodsworth is our executive director. Herman is on our board. Ron Kiney is on our board. Derrick Jamison's on our staff. Randall Padgett is on our staff. We have the leadership of death row exonerees running this organization. And my question is, how do you think that makes our organization different or better? I have my own answer to it too, but I'm throwing it back to y'all.
I actually want to hear your Kwame. I think we need to move out the way right here and see her answer first. So I would like to hear your answer on that first, if you don't
Who, me?
No, Jenny.
Oh,
Jenny,
yeah, okay.
She
Yeah.
has her own answer, but I think because the reason I'm doing this is not to put her on the spot, but because I've worked with Jenny, and when we're putting together things, it's like her mind is so amazing. She touch on things that make you say, and it's amazing. And she got the way to make your energy just go. So I want to hear her answer to her question, because she says she have her own answer. I want to hear your answer to the question, because it's coming from exonerees is one thing, but coming from someone that was outside and came back in is totally different. And I think it's better to hear from someone coming from the outside into this type of world. And
sure. Yeah, well, I mean, just my answer is watching your leadership and watching how you guys run this organization and do the mission of this organization. I've seen ways where you make different decisions and different choices than I think someone who wasn't an exoneree would make. And often, I especially see that with Kirk Bloodsworth, our executive director, making decisions where the well-being of death row exonerees is at the core, right? So we want to abolish the death penalty and we want to work on this or that, but nothing at the expense of a death row exoneree's well-being. And someone who isn't a death row exoneree might not always be able to know exactly what is going to hurt a death row exoneree's well-being. And so being able to be really sensitive to what are the things that actually is going to cause pain or suffering or stress or anything for a death row exoneree, and making sure not to do that as an organization. I don't want to get into specifics, but there have been, panels we were invited to be a part of, or events we were invited to be a part of, or decisions we had to make where me and some other people were like, yeah, this looks great. And then, Kirk or Kwame or somebody were like, no, because, and really knew what the consequence of being involved or doing whatever the thing was going to have on the PTSD and the well-being of the member. And so we didn't do it. And I've seen that happen before. And I've just seen a lot of choices made where the death row exoneree's well-being is centered above all else. And I have the utmost respect and appreciation for that. And I can tell that it's different than someone who hasn't walked in your shoes, because it makes me question my assumptions. So there've been places where I thought it was a good thing, let's do it, come on. And then one of y'all are like, no, this is not a good idea. And I was like, okay, well, let me back off and understand where you're coming from. And I always learn things and really appreciate the insight that y'all bring. So that's my little secret answer.
Kwame, we all remind you that we don't flew through this time too. So remind you, we only have a few minutes, but since it's our organization, we go over a little bit. Kwame, would you like to add to that, or Derrick?
So I can touch it real briefly, and just that ditto what Jenny said. However, it's also the uniqueness of the organization that's what makes it jive so much. And I give you an example. When Deborah Milkey became a part of the organization, she was rather reserved, to say the least. And then I saw her the next year after she had put in some hours and time with the affiliations of going into, the neighborhoods and putting down the stump, and she made a statement that is ever present in my mind, which speaks to volumes to what we're talking about now. And she said, guys, when I first came, she said, I was so shy and timid, and I didn't know what was going on. And, she said, but the minute I stepped in that room with all of those death row exonerees, we were brothers and sisters. I wasn't intimidated, and that speaks volumes to any thing that would circumvent our having a great unification as an organization, is the fact that as a unique volume unit, we jive. And it's simply because the understanding of what you have been through is there the minute you lay eyes on the next person, yeah.
So with that being said, I totally agree with you, and it's like I was saying before. It's like a comfortable community. That, when I was first started wanting to speak, I didn't want to speak to nobody, you know? But it suited me and pushed me to where now I'm known nationally for speaking. It was a great accomplishment. Thank you to witness the incident. We're getting short on time, so if, I want to go into a couple of things that we haven't touched on right quick, and I'm going to try to touch on it briefly. Allison, can I have the slide, please? I want to touch on some of the things that actually Witness Innocent does. With, first of all, you know, we have down here at the bottom where you see the link say host the exoneree, and you see the link that says learn about accuracy and justice. Okay, what these two does, and you know, you're welcome to go on witnessinnocent.org page and actually look at it and do it yourself. But what this does is it provides a sort of income for exonerees also. But the most powerful thing about it is that here it is, you have the ability to bring in a death row exoneree at your church, at your school, at your job. You know, I've been used in cases before. So, you know, you have the ability to reach out to Witness Innocent and get your very own death row exoneree and have them come and speak at your event. You know, and one of the things about it is that you can sit and tell someone about the death penalty, or you know, just go up to somebody in the grocery store and talk about the death penalty, you know, or a close friend. They may be listening, but then they're gonna also be like, they need to go this way, or if they listen, they don't get involved or anything. But if they heard it from a person that is actually exonerated from death row, believe me, you have more of their attention, and you can get a lot of things done. And that is one of our top priority at Witness Innocent. And that's another reason why we do this show, is because education is one of the most very important things here and when we fighting. Because we have a lot of people that's out there don't really know what's going on, don't really have no idea that people are actually being exonerated from death row. And they don't even have to know the difference between the state death row and federal death row. You know, they may have questions or things like that that you cannot answer. And that's why it's so great to have a death row exoneree come in and speak at your office. So with this link, witnessinnocent.org / host a speaker, you can have your very own speaker at your next forum or whatever. And if you call Witness Innocent to line this up, we can accommodate you to do it through Zoom or through social media and things like that. And we also help you promote it, you know, by sending out messages over our network, email blast to say about the event, so people can also tune in. Now, the next one is the Accuracy and Justice. The Accuracy and Justice program is an amazing program. In this program, we have been so successful. The most amazing thing that when I first heard about it, I was like, nah, I don't want to do it. But then I thought about it and I went and tried it. But it's an amazing experience because now you have 3 death row exonerees and a defense attorney who's facilitating, putting on a form for the state attorney's office, police departments, and people that is on the opposite side when you're actually being sentenced to death and things like that. And it's very soothing to see that when we do these accuracy and justice, the people involved, the police officers, the criminal lab, the state attorneys, you know, it's amazing to see that these people are actually trying to work with exoneree to find out what they can do to make the justice system better, to prevent from having wrongful convictions, to prevent from, prosecuting misconduct, or having prosecuted misconduct and things like that. They want to try to fix their office. So, it's an amazing accuracy and justice for those that's out there that's interested. And again, you call witness innocent for that. Our social media is here. Also, our Twitter, our Facebook, our Instagram. We constantly putting out information from across the United States all the time. What's going on with the death penalty, cases that's going up, and all the information that we can provide to people that subscribe to us or becoming members on our website and connects with us on social media. We try to give them all the update information that we can. We even have a newsletter that goes out every month. If you want to go on witnesses.org and actually sign up for membership and receive the newsletter. Also, as we all know, this is a nonprofit organization. It says support the work of Witness to Innocence. witnessinnocence.org/donate. You have to understand, as a nonprofit organization, we are not able to go out there and make money to keep things running. As we have to raise money, and sometimes that is very difficult, especially when this COVID-19 situation is going around, and that limits our programs and things that we're able to do. And it is very important that if you are in a position that you can support our organization, that you also do so, because we have programs such as the emergency fund. The emergency fund is for exemplary exonerees when they're in a bad situation where they need funds right away. So, for instance, the lights go off or water go off, something in that nature where it's a time where you need something to be able to survive. And instead of, it's very helpful. It's gonna help me with my wife and kids a lot of time, because the mind state of being in the house with my lights on and I got the kids, I'm stressing, it intensifies my PSD. It intensifies my depression, my anxiety, and things like that. But it's comfort to know that I can call Witness to Innocence, and they'll try to help me out, and get those lights back on. They've done a great job doing it before. And the last link I would like to talk about is connect with Herman Lindsey. That's me. H. Lindsey at witnessinnocence.org. The reason I have this email is because I want people to start reaching out. You want to talk. Especially young students. I support the kids in education. They may be doing a book report or anything like that and have any questions. They can email me directly. You have questions about the death penalty or anything like that. You can email me directly. I have an open door policy, and I try to. I want to make a difference everywhere I can. And that is my compensation. I didn't get compensated for the miscarriage of justice that done for me, but my compensation comes from, being able to be in a position to help those that really want to know what things really is. And I do answer back as quick as possible. Staff also have access to that email, so if it's about an event or anything like that, one of those will get right back with you. So feel free to email me at hlindsey@witnessinnocence.org. Now we went over 10 minutes, and I would like to say that was so perfect. You see why I like my staff, Kwame? I just backed off what it said. We're over 10 minutes, and guess what? The screen stopped sharing. Like Allison, that girl was a butt. So that's why I love my staff. I know if she video was showing, she said
You're
that's
still live. You're still live on Facebook.
yeah, no, I say if her video was showing, you can see she back there laughing. But I like the way that was. As soon as I finished talking, it's like it's gone.
Absolutely.
So, but with that said, we got to end the show. So I was wondering, is there any last words that either one of you would like to say before we end this session?
Thank you. That was I think it was a very powerful message that you were able to convey today, brother. I appreciate that. And to the world, thank you so much for tuning in, and give Witness to Innocence another chance. Every day you get up, give Witness to Innocence another chance. And every day that you get up, give Witness to Innocence another chance, because we're out here fighting to give the young ones another chance. Thank you.
Derrick, you have anything to say?
Yes, indeed. Hey, man, I love y'all, and thank y'all for tuning in live. And thank y'all so much, Herman, you and Kwame and Jenny and Allison and all y'all for all the great work y'all do and the great work y'all accomplishing during this pandemic. You know, thank y'all, man. I love y'all, and I'm proud of y'all, and I'm always here to support y'all, man. And, you know, I'm always a phone call away, brothers and sisters. I love y'all so much, man.
What's
Stay
that ring
safe.
on your finger? What's that ring on your finger there? Yeah, what is that?
That's my Death Row Exoneree ring. Kurt Bloodworth, my brother Kurt Bloodworth, sent these out to 172 Death Row Exonerees all over the country, brother.
My man.
Thank you. Hey, man, I love y'all, man. Y'all stay safe, man, and keep y'all head up and stay focused on good and put out good karma to the world, and it'll come back to you in full, baby. I love y'all, man. Stay up, man. Stay prayed up and stay safe. God bless
All right,
y'all.
brother.
All right.
Before I end, I just want to say this one last thing, that we're also on YouTube. You can go on YouTube, type up Witnesses.
That's right.
You can see some of the videos of the Death Row Exonerees and their stories. And if you can look at those things and you can walk away and ignore Witness to Innocent, then I have to say you are a person with problems, because those stories are very touching, and it's reality. It's not stories that been made up with them who's to manipulate you. It's stories of true people speaking about the experience that they have. And I encourage you to go on the YouTube site and to look at some of those videos. Don't take me and Kwame word about how things are. You actually look at some of those videos and you put the common denominators together, and you would yourself will see that this is a terrible problem, but we have to live with it. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody for another week of True Justice. Next week, we'll be talking about a great organization, Represent Justice, and what they've done. They've done some amazing things to change over how things are. They just put it this way: they marketed the abolishing the death penalty and other issues in a way that is remarkable. But I'm gonna save that for next week. And I thank everybody for coming. I thank my staff. See you later, Kwame.
All right, brother.